What's going on, y'all? Hey, I am proud to say welcome back to a awesome, and I do mean awesome, episode of Legends Day, baby. That's right. I am your host, Darnell Oaks. Hey, look, y'all. It's been a crazy week in the basketball world, man. Very crazy week. You know, we have the Bear Man, Mr. James Harden, is now a Brooklyn Net. Oh man, it's been some time coming for that one, right? But we all know that was in the making, man. You know, matter of time. I said it a long, long time ago. Hey, listen, look, man, if you love Legends Day the way I do, or you may even love it more, this is your moment. Go ahead and support the show, man. Support the show. There's options to support the show on Buzzsprout, Legends Day, that is, or you can always cash app. That's Oaks Shopping Arena. Don't forget that $ at the front. Many, many ways to support the show. But if you love it, you gotta want it. And if you want it, you got to take care of it. That's how that go. But anyways, y'all, look, this episode of Legends Day is so, so special, man. Because as y'all know, on Legends Day, it's all about the legends and not the ones you think we're going to talk about. And oh, I can't forget, I finish. Always make sure I'm dressed in the best. So we can't forget that, baby. But look here, y'all. This legend tonight, we have to, we're going to salute arguably the greatest scorer to ever touch the basketball. And I bet you have no idea who I'm speaking of, dude. I give you 3 seconds. Kevin Bradshaw. Yeah. If you haven't heard the name Kevin Bradshaw before, somebody haven't told you the whole truth about the game of basketball and the great ones who ever played it. But that's okay. That's why you're right here. That's why you're listening in. That's why you're watching Legends Day. Yeah. So check it out, y'all. We're going to get into this thing about Kevin Bradshaw because I'm so excited to speak on one of the best, I'm going to say arguably the best scorer who ever blessed the court, man. I said it right here. D Oaks always set the record straight and stand on it, man. Look, y'all, Kevin Bradshaw, very close to my birthday, man, was born February 13th, man, 1965. That's a Gainesville, Florida native. Check it out, y'all. Bradshaw first made his bones on the court, y'all. That's at Buck Holtz High School. It was well known that Kev was not a standout at all. You know, first couple seasons, you know, he wasn't one that not even will blow your mind. That's not even the case. Kevin was not one that would make you turn twice. You know, he wasn't no show at all, first couple seasons, from my understandings. But he had a very, very crazy turning point, I want to say senior season, when he reached the heights of 30 points in a game. And once he reached that level, as he stated, he couldn't come down. And if he did do anything below those numbers, it built up a depression in him, you know. And we're gonna get into that because that's pretty deep, you know. That's very deep, you know, extremely. And see, the thing was, you know, there was some things that wasn't too pleasant, you know, to say the least, about, his household at that time, um, as it's been reported. And basically, the house didn't feel like a home. We're gonna say that, you know. Um, and his way of channeling, you know, that energy was through the game. And when he reached the heights of, the elite scoring, you know, along the sides of Vernon Maxwell, former NBA star, who was also his high school teammate, as they shared that Buck Horse, backcourt, and dominated, out there in Florida, y'all. I mean, as they dominated, you know, um, Gainesville at that time, y'all, high school basketball. I mean, we're talking 30 apiece, 30 over here for Bradshaw, 30 over here for Maxwell. I mean, the whole state knew what they were dealing with that backcourt, man. And once again, his taste of what came along with, being one of those guys, was something, unfortunately, he had depended on, begin to depend on for his healing, you know. And y'all know, over here on Legends Day, teaching points is very key. And it's the motivation behind this show, you know. So young ballers, parents of ballers, relatives, it's very, very important. Healing is healing, and what I mean by that is, you know, you don't view healing based on your success of doing something, that's not healing. That's the energy of others being entertained by you. It's not real. It's not love, you know. You can only find that within. You can only find that treating and feeding yourself health, whether that's spiritual health, physical health, eating right, you know, uh, it's not going to come from someone else, not the love for yourself. It's not going to come from elsewhere. So, if you out there, whether you're a young athlete or, or not, self love comes from within, you know, and get your relationship right with the Lord. But listen, Kevin, man, Kevin went through those battles, of depression, during them high school years. And also racism played its part, because it's almost like this great young player, right? He done found this niche, but his house isn't a home. And when he walks outside of his home, he's dealing with hate from the opposite race. Can you imagine? Really, can you imagine? I can't, man. I can't, I come up in a time, you know, raised pretty much in the 90s, um, we wasn't quite there. We were, you know, you seen it, but you didn't see it. It couldn't compare to coming of age probably in the 70s, like Bradshaw in the 80s. Um, it's not the same, you know. Um, so man, that was tough in itself, and Kevin found a further escape, which was not much of an escape, and he sure learned in a short period of time, where drugs and alcohol was concerned, you know, it just took him down further. So midway through his senior year in high school, y'all, and we talking the biggest names in Florida high school basketball at this time, man. So listen, we're talking 80s. Kevin had an opportunity. And we're talking about the opportunity. If you are a Gainesville star, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The Gators, man. The Gators. The Gators wanted Bradshaw, man. Of course they did, man. The Florida Gators, man. And, you know, he really he gave it a look, but the pain, the idea of I need to get away, you know, took him in this other direction. Florida actually had, which they felt their palms on, he and Vernon Maxwell. So they had the backcourt at Buckholz. Now listen, I'm just trying to put that together, man. The Gators was really on something, but it didn't quite pan out the way they had in mind because Kevin took his talents to Bethune Cookman University. That's right, HBCU. Now, early on, y'all, Kevin felt like he made a mistake. You know, although Bethune Cookman was highly supportive, and said all the right things, um, Kevin, with his talent, knew that he can be treated and greeted better, and could have been easily at a bigger institution, with the Gators and so many other schools that came about his way. And once again, his energy, his happiness depend on what was going on elsewhere, what was going on with others. And his former backcourt mate in Vernon Maxwell and close friend was shining. He was shining. And you know how it goes. You're at a high level Division 1. Now you're shining partially because you're performing well. The other part is the machine behind you that makes sure those lights stay bright at all times. So every time he's turning the television on, every newspaper he's picking up, there's burning, So in his situation, I believe the school um, were even in so much debt they were about to actually lose the school, So it was that bad. So imagine what they could have done with the basketball program. They couldn't even really keep the school up after Bradshaw's sophomore season. He got out of there, man. He dropped up out of there, man. It wasn't for him. It wasn't working out, and he had a child. Kevin had his first child, and with desperation and the pressure, you know, he made a decision, y'all, which he thought was a horrible decision initially, but it was a blessing in disguise. And that was joining the U.S. Navy. Yes, he joined the U.S. Navy with the intent to take care of his new child and family, y'all. So it became much deeper than basketball, which it always will. So, he goes to the Navy, you know, went through his growing pains in the Navy. He was challenged as a man, he was challenged as a person, and eventually there was recreational times and basketball presented itself. The recreational times end up leading to an opportunity for Bradshaw to regain his education at the U.S. International University, man, where he found a great fit. And I'm going to tell y'all like this. This is where the legend begins for real. In the eyes of the people, I'm going to say that because it's been clear, y'all, even during the high school years, they had a name for Bradshaw. I think the nickname was the Black Hole. And it pretty much meant if you pass him the ball, you're not getting it back. So you talking about a scoring machine, y'all. Definitely the best that Gainesville, Florida has ever seen. And arguably the best that the basketball floor has ever seen. And I'm about to tell you how this went down. You think it's a joke over here on Legends Day, man. Look here, man. January 5th, 1991, man. Kevin Bradshaw made NCAA scoring history. See, y'all thought it was a game over here. Okay. But you gonna run and do your research on Kevin Bradshaw after this show. Now keep listening. Kevin passed up the great Pistol Pete. I'm going to say that one more time a little slow for you. Kevin Bradshaw passed the great Pistol Pete, scoring 72 points, y'all, versus Lowell Marymount University, man. Pistol Pete, had his amazing 69-point Division I game versus Alabama in 1970, man. And listen, to this very day, nobody, and I do mean nobody, has touched Bradshaw 72 points in the Division I basketball game. Hey, I'm listening. Point him out. Call his name out. Get in the comments. Join Finalize. Join the Facebook show Finalize Monday night. Join Finalize and tell me who passed Kevin Bradshaw, who scored more than 72 points in the Division I college basketball game. Please, I'll be waiting. Man, look, y'all. Kevin ended his college basketball career, y'all, scoring 2,804 points, man. And to this very day, man, he ranked 16th all time college scoring. I feel like more important than the 72-point game was this for me. Kevin met a very, very important person while being a part of the Navy and during his time at the university. And that was the great Admiral David Robinson, y'all. And flat out, David Robinson flat out said, this guy is probably one of the best players he ever seen put that ball in the hoop, man. David Robinson, man. And he seen and he dominated a lot of great. And I'm gonna tell you, the most important thing that David did for him was to help him understand the point that I made earlier. Listen, when you're on the basketball court, you're a star. When you step off the court, you're a person. You're just a person. So David, as big as his name was, man, and David, we talking 7'1", 7'2" at that time, lefty. Man, David was one of the first bigs who can stretch it out, who can shoot the deep ball, who got the mid-range game, who can put it on the floor just a little bit. David Robinson was incredible. Okay, we talking about one of the greats right here. And even Kevin looked up to David like, wow. But David toned that down and pretty much let him know, man, I'm a person just like you. When we step off the court, I'm just a person, man. So I believe he taught Kevin, even if it was from a distance, he taught Kevin that separate yourself from the celebrity. They're not the same. If you have a wife, like myself, my wife doesn't call me D Oaks. It's not going to happen. And if it does, I need to run. So listen, that's a very, very important teaching point, man. For all the listeners out there, man. Whatever profession you're in, whatever your talent is, that's all it is. And that's a great thing. But when you step out of that arena of your talent, you step out of that space, just be a human being, man. Don't abuse yourself, man. Treat yourself. Come on. Now, look, man. Post-college career, Kevin wasn't done. Kevin was not done, man. Man, Kevin took his talents over to Israel, man. And look here. He had his bumps in the road, man. He had his bumps in the road. He dealt with some devastating things, right before going over to Israel. And, that was losing his home briefly, losing his family briefly. And he went over to Israel pretty much once again, trying to get away, So I think it was an adjustment period. Just imagine. I think it was stated that he landed in Israel, y'all, for like $20 in his pocket. I mean, I'm trying to put that together, man. I'm scared to go outside my neighborhood with only $20. I'm scared of that. So to go to a whole nother country when you don't even speak the language, don't even know the language, and all you got is $20 in your pocket, man, that's stepping out on faith. But look, man, Kevin stepped out on faith, man, went to Israel, and look here. Kevin tried to do something different that he's never done before. Share the ball. Made it an extra effort to try to get people involved. He didn't want people getting upset with him. He didn't want, you know, I guess the reaction that he got in the past, or maybe he was afraid, I think, to fall back into uh, the addiction, of why he wanted to score the big points, all the stuff that came with him being a star. I think he was more so running from that. He didn't want to, you know, gain that type of attention again because it's hard. It was hard for him to manage. Anyhow, somebody brought a team manager brought it to his attention. He said, "Listen, man, we heard that you were the greatest scorer in college basketball history. Why you keep passing the ball? Why do you keep passing the ball?" And Kevin is, he's trying to explain that, listen, I want to be a team player, and blah, blah, blah. And look, this hierarchy told Kevin, he said, listen, I hear all that, and we like you, brother. We do like you. But check this out. If you don't put that ball in the hoop, man, we're going to send you back to the States. Our business is over. Listen, y'all. Shortly after, Kevin Bradshaw, arguably the best scorer of all time, y'all, dropped 101, man. That's it, man. That dropped 101 points, man. I don't give a damn what type of game it is. I don't care if that's a pickup game. He dropped 101 points in a professional overseas basketball game, man. 100. How do you score 101 points, man? Tell me, because you're going to have people out there, oh, man, it was overseas. He wasn't playing against the talents. Okay, tell me how you do that. How do you score 100 points since you got so much to say? How? How do you do that? You wouldn't know because you ain't never done it. Just like me, you never done it. So you know what you can do? Salute the brother. Salute the brother. Because that is amazing. I don't care which level, how you did it. And that was a professional game, man. Stop. Some of our best players in the past 5 to 10 years in the NBA, probably even more, come from overseas. So my point is, you got some of the best players in the world overseas. Okay. This man scored 101 points, man, in a professional game. Kevin Bradshaw, you are a legend. All day over here on Legends Day. Hey, listen, y'all. It has been more than a joy, man, on this episode of Legends Day. I hope you learned something new. I pray for you all to stay safe during these trying times. And I tell you what, man, Monday night, 7:30 p.m., I invite you over to my Facebook show That's right. Join my Facebook Live. Finalize at 7:30 p.m. for Game of the Week. Y'all know who Game of the Week is going to be? The Brooklyn Nets. We talking about the new super team versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Join the live. Don't forget to support Legends Day any way you may choose, y'all. Thanks to Buzzsprout. Thank you to I Finish. I am your host. Once again, y'all. That's Darnell Oaks. I'll see you all just in a little bit.